Yagie, Yanyae, Yayae, Eyae, Aisha Shaibu Badegi, Nga Che Lashi Nega Gangbane Bae, Emi Radio and Citizen FM 93.7 Abujabo, Talata Ndoro, Galugwa ya Ola Bari Ma, Nupenchi Jigeze Wogangba, Ekun Giwa, Se Yegashi Tupa.
Citizen FM Abuja.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on Insight, your window into the issues that shape governance, policy, and national development. I'm Lawrence Omoite. Welcome to the show. Today we beam our searchlight on another of affairs for the past 3.5 years. From his ambitious development blueprints to his reforms in security, infrastructure, economy, and social services, the Soludo administration has drawn both commendations and criticisms. But how has the government fared overall? What milestones have been achieved? And what challenges still lie ahead for the Anambra? Our guest this morning is Dr. Law Mefo, who is the Commissioner for Information in Anambra State. He will be sharing insights on the progress, impact, and vision of the Soludo administration. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Mefo.
Yeah, thank you, my brother Lawrence. It's good to, feature again on your radio program.
All right, it's good to have you again. These days, because of the exigencies of work, we know that you are always very busy. So we appreciate your intervention this morning. Once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine, always.
All right, so let's get straight to business, Dr. Mefo.
Yeah.
It's been over 3.5 years on the saddle by the Governor Soludo-led administration. Generally speaking, how has it been like for the government? Maybe I should say expectations versus reality. How has it been?
Well, for me, as a member of the solution government, that is how we describe the government and governance of the governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo Evar. It's exciting and challenging. Yes, those two words, they are the best to describe both my experience and what the Soludo is. The Soludo solution. And, to be honest, he has met most of his campaign promises. We can speak in specific times so that you can assess for yourself what the governor has done. He erected his administration on 5 pillars, beginning with security, law and order, infrastructure and development, social order and governance, and then of course environment. And so far so good. The philosophy of Soludo's government is to reverse the trend in Anambra, where the state is like a departure lounge. People are eager to leave Anambra State and only occasionally return during festivities like Christmas and Iwaji and so on and so forth. So the dream of the governor is to ensure that the state is developed in a way that will encourage the Anambra who are living outside Anambra and the rest of the Nigerians and the world to visit Anambra intentionally. That is Anambra becoming a destination of choice. This is the overarching dream of Mr. Governor. And he is meeting up with most of these objectives. Like I said, I need to touch on some specifics. All right, Doctor. If I touch on some specifics, you will understand what I mean.
Doctor, we'll get to that. Thank you for giving us a general picture. But despite this general picture, some citizens, residents of Anambra State, say the reality on ground has not matched the rhetorics. That's how they put it. How would you respond to those who feel disappointed? Let's start with security concerns. Hello. Did you get?
Yeah, you said.
I said
some say that the reality on ground
does not
match my claim.
Yes, and
or the claim of the government.
The government. So let's Doctor, let's start.
This is election season.
Okay.
And in an election, one simple principle governs it. Once it is an election and there is this contestation. And you have people who want the governor's seat. As many as 12 candidates are involved in this Anambra governorship election coming up on November 8th. And whoever prints a poster and is contesting will do some, make some efforts to win. And in doing so, two things are at play.
Okay.
One is what you call amplification of a candidate's interest, right? Amplification of a candidate's interest. And amplification of the opponent's weaknesses. These are the two things you find in an electioneering campaign. It's as simple as that. So those who tell you that the Soludo is not doing anything, he hasn't transformed Anambra into Dubai, Taiwan, Silicon Valley, like he promised, are just being political or ignorant. When somebody says a governor is not doing anything, and we are talking about a governor that has awarded over 800 kilometers of roads, and as of today, in about 3 years and maybe 6 months, has asphalted over 600 of those roads. No governor before Soludo has done that. So you can see that you have very clear, shining evidence that the governor is working. And I just gave you an example, only one example.
Okay.
I don't want to go into Soludo delivering a governor's lodge and government house. A jinx he broke after 34 years of creation of Anambra, and I'm not talking about all that he did. You need to visit. You need to visit Anambra State. When you do, you will be the judge. You will see for yourself things that have been done. But I can mention that today you have free education for primary and secondary school. You have 5 brand new general hospitals constructed by the governor. You have iconic flyovers constructed by the governor. You have what we call Anambra Beltway, 4 dual carriageways, belting up Anambra land area, making it possible for any person through the dual carriageways created by Soludo, to move from one point of Anambra through the 4 major cities in the state and return to where he or she started.
All right.
He created that. This is an ongoing reality. The 4 dual carriageways in Anambra State in less than 3 years. And he's doing all these things without borrowing. So when somebody tells you he is not working, ask him, are these things true? If these things are true and the person is saying Soludo is not doing anything, what exactly does he want a governor to do in 3 years that Soludo hasn't done?
All right.
Because these things are real. They are here, and nobody can deny them.
All right, Dr. Mefo, one of the biggest challenge some people have seen in the state has been the issue of security. Now, yesterday or thereabout, I saw a press release that you issued, which stated that the governor directed the arrest of operatives of Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra Brigade, otherwise known as...
No, not operatives of Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra, no. You see, Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra, a.k.a. Ocha Brigade. Ocha Brigade. They don't bear arms. They don't bear arms. When they go for operations, they rely on security agencies because their operatives don't bear arms. So what happened in Onitsha? The shooting that took place there wasn't by Ocha Brigade because they don't bear arms. It was actually by the security operatives on Onitsha main market itself.
Okay.
On the main market, they have their own security, a kind of vigilante. They are armed. They were the ones, helping Ocha Brigade in their enforcement that carried out the shooting. Okay. So, we are not distancing ourselves from what happened because it was our agency that they were trying to help. You get the point?
Yes.
Because they were trying to help Ocha Brigade, we have to take vicarious responsibility and liability. Yeah. And that is why the governor particularly, ordered full investigation into immediate and remote causes of what happened in Onitsha yesterday. Very sad, very unfortunate. And he ordered further, not just to have those who carried out the shooting to be arrested. They are vigilante of Onitsha main market. Not Operation Udogachi, not Akune Chamber, not Sansa. No, none of our security agents had their operatives in that ugly incident. But the governor, of course, believes that even though our men did not directly
Okay, I think we are...
the injuring of a number of victims, about 2-3 of them, they are in the hospital receiving attention, and governor has picked their bills. He has ordered that whatever is incurred as their medical needs must be picked by the government. It's a way of showing solidarity with the people and being a responsive and responsible governor.
All right. Doctor, maybe why there is such apprehension is because this is coming a few weeks after.
It's not Ocha Brigade that did the shooting, no.
Maybe it's because, a few weeks ago there was an outrage that greeted the attack of a youth corps member by some vigilantes or security, as you will call them. Is there no way to maybe articulate or harmonize the activities of this group so that we...
There must be. I agree with you, and it is on. What what the government is doing and has done over the security operatives, the agencies, is to hold them accountable to what we call SOP, Standard Operations and Procedures, and Code of Conduct. They have Code of Conduct. Any person that operates outside the Code of Conduct will be prosecuted, not just dismissed from service. That is one measure that we have in place. And those people you alluded to that went to Oba community to harass and beat up a female youth corps member, they are facing prosecution as we speak. That is a way of checking and balancing what they do. Because you weren't trained and given uniform, given arms, and act as if you are unleashed on innocent and helpless citizens. No, your job is to protect them. Your job is to ensure law and order. So the people you set up and set out to help, to secure, cannot be your victims under the watch of Professor Soludo. No, it can't happen. So those of them who fall out of the standard operations procedure and code of conduct are not only dismissed, they are facing prosecution. It is to send a very strong signal to other operatives that you are not above the law. You can't, for example, shoot an unarmed person, somebody that is not armed. What danger does the person pose for you to justify the shooting of an unarmed person? It cannot be tolerated. Assault also is a criminal offense. Under no circumstances will force law enforcement degenerate to assault, even though you have the inherent human rights to protect your own life by ensuring that you are not killed. So if that becomes the case, then it's a different ballgame altogether. For example, the case of the youth copper, I personally cannot see how 6 to 8 armed men can justify what they did to the copper. So that is why I still believe that the action, the order of the governor, that they be dismissed from service of Akune Chamber and prosecuted forthwith. I agree with that decision.
All right.
Because I don't see what danger the female youth copper unarmed could pose to 8 armed men. I can't understand it.
All right, so, Doctor, staying with the security matters, I remember when Governor Soludo came on board, he made an offer of amnesty to criminals, and this generated a lot of controversy then. Now, with hindsight, would you think that was a wise move?
Which offer do you mean?
I mean, when the governor came on board, he made an offer of amnesty that they were...
Yes, he did. Yes. You see... not even only when he came in. When he launched the operation Udogachi and Akune Chamber on 18th of February 2025, he still repeated the amnesty. And he believes that many of these perpetrators of insecurity in Anambra, particularly those who are pursuing the sovereignty of Biafra, some of which include robbery and kidnapping. As Udo is saying that, look, those who are misled by such warped ideology should come out. Let them be given a life by being trained in one thing or the other. We have a scheme we call One Youth, Two Skills that has produced well over 10,000 graduates that are not only trained by the government but also empowered, mentored, and more than 1,000 of them believe that they are millionaires. They are products of that scheme. And the governor is saying, come out, you will be trained. You will be trained, you will be given money to pursue decent and honest living. You know, I don't know how many took up that amnesty, but the governor issued it, and he meant it. And it is because he believed that given the opportunity, that those who really want to come out, people who feel trapped in such a problem, will be able to come out and be helped by government. That's what the governor has done and is saying. You know, but let me also say that security, law and order is the number one pillar of the solution government, and it's working. Since the launching of Operation Udogachi and Agune Chamber, security has remarkably been restored to Anambra. It may not be an Uhuru yet, but certainly we are no longer where we were prior to the launching of these two major security outfits in Anambra. Let me give you instances to prove that indeed security is being restored a lot better. Recently, we had two national exercises. One was the continuous voter registration exercise. INEC itself, that organized that exercise, issued a commendation, public commendation to Anambra State, because the exercise took place in the 326 communities in Anambra State. Before Soludo came in, elections couldn't even hold in many of those communities. But now that such an exercise could take place everywhere in Anambra, it shows that indeed security is getting better, is getting fully restored. It can be better. Yes, we agree. And we are working towards recovering the status, the law status of Anambra as the safest